Okay, Randy here. Shall we make a game? And yep, we're still working on collision. So last time we kind of got to the point at which we were able to kind of constrain a point to a triangle. So now we need to take that and use it as a building block to kind of like really get our collision truly working. So something I was thinking about was, let's layer function and get rid of that. We had this bit in here, didn't we, that was finding the closest point on a nav mesh to a point. And this has me wondering if I should be reusing this code in here, rather than projecting onto the surface, project onto the volume of the nav mesh, which would probably make more sense. Actually, does this output? Yes, it does output a point. So we could actually get rid of that point. We're not going to need that anymore. Yeah, that'd be useful. So we can get rid of that. The day we're going to be building things immediately starts removing things. Okay. And I think there's only going to be one bit at the bottom of this where it copies it over. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. I'm going to guess we still have plenty of vector ops in here. Yep, that's fine. That can stay in. Okay, so at that point, we can actually pull this out of here and put it into the main navigation mesh helper. Although I'm going to leave it in there just for the sake of, just for the sake of being able to kind of like have like a helper method to scan all of them. Find the closest point on a navigation mesh to a point in 3D space. Don't need that. And we're going to return the distance. So let's go into here. Squared distance to the closest point. Okay. The square of the distance to the closest point on the navigation mesh. Still using the wrong prefix. Still haven't broken that muscle memory. We'll do it eventually. And what's this complaining about? Oh, it's saying I haven't defined it yet. That's fine. Okay. Oh, we can get rid of that. And if we come into here, we can now take basically this entire function, right? This entire function and cut it out pretty much. So yeah, everything from like here downwards we can get rid of. Let's fold this up and yeah, just grab all that, I guess. Oh, wait, what happened there? Oh, the body of the loop is still, it's still in this function for some reason. Okay. I would have thought it was obvious when like drag the mouse over like a folded up structural elements that I obviously want to include it, but like I guess it's not obvious to everyone. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to include this. And then we're going to return it at the end. Oh, we're also not going to have that component ID. We don't need it. And we have changed a header file, so we're going to do a parallel build after this. Going to keep that in mind. Get rid of that. That's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. That should be good. Oh, we actually need to pass in. We need to pass in the navigation mesh we're sampling. Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? All right, okay, I think that's everything. We then go through to here, and this function basically just becomes kind of like a sort of a helper wrapper around this one. Get rid of the vector import here, don't need that anymore. So we're just going to navigation mesh closer, navigation mesh closest. Get the navigation mesh, get that pointing through the space. And we're actually going to make a sort of a temporary variable here. This closest navigation mesh triangle. Ah! And that'll do. We don't need to return a float out of here. Yeah, we could do it for symmetry with the kind of like functions wrapping, but we don't really need it anywhere, so that should be good. And yeah, I'm also going to export that function for constraining to a polygon, because I think that's going to be genuinely useful. Okay, constrains a point to the volume of a navigation mesh triangle. There we go. Oh, we can get rid of that. I'm still using the wrong prefix. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I bring in the error header? Yes, I did. Good. Okay. All right. Next up, we can take this and we can start cleaning up a bit. All this can go. I'm expecting a lot of errors when I finally I'm expecting a lot of errors when I finally get to compile this. Whew, almost there. It's time to point to the volume of navigation mesh triangle, and then, oh yeah, we need to actually put a semicolon there, that helps. Navigation mesh triangle to collide with. Constrain to. And the point. And then we're going to have our results, which is overwritten the results of constraining the point to the navigation mesh triangle. May be a point. Okay. So let's press build and see what happens. It will not be happy with us after all that. Oh, it is very not happy with us. Tell me more, compiler. What ails you? So give it the point. What was the closest thing for? Hang on a second. What was the point closest? What was that for? I don't remember what that argument was for. Oh, that's over the closest point. We don't need that anymore. In fact, let's roll this entire advanced function back because I think we're done with it. I think we're about to start experimenting with some real collision. Okay. And we've got all these, we're gonna have all these kind of like hack helpers that we're using to find the bugs. Don't need you guys anymore. We're bug free now, probably. Probably not, to be honest. Okay. This is saying that we can't edit this, which is fine. That's what we expected. So yeah, at that point we start working with the result, not the point. That's fine. So anywhere south of here we need to... Maybe I just copy it over right at the start. I don't know. Now this may introduce a bug or two actually, because we're taking what used to be one variable, making it into two. And it's entirely possible I'll forget to update one or the other. So at this point, have we... No, okay. Basically, I just need to be catching all the places that I am using point for the first time and then overwriting over there. Okay, so if we're saying no to this, we've not set it yet, we can keep using this. Easy peasy. And then we finally got a surface distance check, which again, start there. That should be good. That will probably hold to our contract. Who knows though? Okay, where's it failing there? It's because it's no longer called that. But that's an obsolete implementation now. We can get rid of all of that. And yep, that should work. We've got all the stuff in here for like drawing lines, and this is necessary anymore. This was all debugging stuff. Get rid of all this. And did we set our iterations back to like 10? Oh, we've still got to-dos. We'll handle them another time. Yeah, set our iterations back up. And I'd also like to put a to-do in here because I still don't think this is correct, but it seems to work. To-do. This function was largely guesswork. It appears to work through fuzz testing, but is probably incorrect or suboptimal. All right, let's see what that does. Oh, it's still not happy. It's still not happy. Okay. This is saying it's not used. That's actually true. Let's use it, shall we? Hey, look at that. We've actually ended up slightly more optimized than we were before, avoiding a read that we didn't need. And that should be an IE error, not an EF error. Okay, it's building. That's good. That's a good sign. Needs to be a parallel build, doesn't it? Oh no, I've frozen my terminal. Why? Why is that bug not fixed? And I've run the wrong thing again. Okay. Okay. Now, all that should happen when we run this is that this should disappear. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is actually working. One looked like it, but it's actually working. Let's get rid of these. These were hacks so we could draw lines. Let's commit all this, I guess. You're going to show me... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, you're going to show me the diff anytime soon. I guess I have given it a real workout here. Yeah, this part of the code base is very much to do, but that's just how it is. Approach working collision. Hell yeah. Right, so I'm going to put back in the thing in here where it layers up the navigation meshes. I might also put in a helper or something, you know, like a flag you can set to make that kind of happen based on like a debug flag or something. Okay, so we're seeing nothing. Oh, have we got an error? We do. We're not bringing in the header probably. Navigation mesh component. Still building. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, and there's our mesh in all of its glory. Okay, so next thing. We need to build something that is actually moving around on there. Let's get Blender back open and let's roll back some of our changes so that we are... Oh, actually, that'll be fine. Just re-export that. Okay, then we should be able to do a build and then we should be able to see it in here. Okay, very nice, very good. Okay, so next up, we're going to create a new entity on here and we're going to come up with some sort of new behavior for kind of like, I guess, walking to a point. So... yeah, I guess, hang on, I'm trying to think how I would best do this. It is something we're going to reuse. So maybe we have a component for kind of like, you know, navigation mesh follower or something, or child or something. The reason for that is we want to be able to kind of like track things like, oh, I call it navigation mesh collider or agent. Navigation mesh agent, is that a term people use? Hey, just look at that. Despite never having used them in Unity, I picked the right term for it. Let's have a look. Which avoid each other while we do. Oh, that's a cool feature. I didn't know it did that. So yeah. Now there's going to have to be some cross awareness between navigation meshes and navigation mesh agents because navigation mesh agents need to track exactly, well, they need to know when their parent nav mesh is deleted. Let's increase that to like 16, that'll probably be enough. And we can get rid of that, and yep, that looks good. Okay, so when you actually create one of these, it's actually going to do a scan of all the navigation meshes, find the closest one and kind of attach itself. That means that you must have navigation meshes in place before you actually, run this. Or maybe I just wait until I'll wait until the start of the frame and then touch it then. Because that way if you're also like deleting, you can just kind of like refresh yourself next frame. Get rid of that, don't need that. And we don't need that. We don't need that. That will do. Okay, that ended up being actually a lot less than I was expecting. And actually, I'm just going to check if we can throw out any of these headers. I don't think I'm going to need... Oh, okay, they're all gone already. Okay. All right, we're going to need a function here to notify the system that an existing nav mesh has been deleted. Executed by the navigation mesh component on destruction to detach any agents which might be attached. Yeah, that'll do for a name. It's quite a hard thing to name, really, because it kind of involves two entities, both of which already have long names. I don't really exactly want War and Peace in my function name. Okay. That should do. Dummy this one out as well. Now, under the hood, I'm thinking this is probably going to be a separate, even though I could make this in turn, make like an advanced component, I'm thinking it should be its own queue because we're going to be able to control when kind of physics happen a bit more precisely than, put them into a big pot. So let's grab this. And I think we'll get rid of all these for the moment because we don't really know what we're putting in here just yet. Get rid of all of this, none of this is needed. That's good. Follow the errors, follow the errors. Oh, that function's not needed at all. Okay. Right, okay, so executed by... Performs the collision check on every navigation agent. There we go. There we go, that'll do. So I can go in here. I can go in here. All right then, we're getting there, we're getting there. So we're going to want to, yeah, we're going to want to be able to store the, not the model view projection matrix, but the model matrix. And then we're also going to want to store where we previously were, so we have that kind of sliding collision component. Right. We're probably going to want to fill that in at the time of construction. And we're probably going to want to add a teleport function here so we can tell, so that we can, because most of the time it's going to assume that you're doing like a, you know, a smooth flowing motion from one side of the map to the other, but you might not be. I think we'll leave that till later though. Don't need that feature just yet, we can leave it there. Okay, right, okay. Get the model matrix out, and we can extract the coordinate into the previous location. Okay. All right, okay, okay. We got this. So now I have to remember where in a matrix we actually store the translation. I think it's going to be in 4812. I think it is. Let's have a look. It's been a while since I did this. Oh no, so it's going to be, yeah, 3711. So basically 4812, but off by one. Hang on, no, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Yep. Is that good? Are you happy with that compiler? Good, 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 good. Okay, so now we have to loop through all of the, yeah. We need to loop through the whole list of agents, and then any that exist, we need to basically compare the previous location to where they are now and perform sliding collision. Should be dead easy to do, should be dead easy. It means we can have whatever physics we want on the actually feeding into this, and they should all kind of act the same. Yeah. We're not creating. We are going to grab the model matrix. Gonna grab the previous location. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. I keep typing the wrong thing. I keep forgetting to remove the T suffix on things. It's really handy for like autocomplete having that T suffix. Okay, next location. And then we're basically going to take a copy of the information that we have in this model matrix into this next location. And then we're going to do a sliding collision here. And then move this model matrix to kind of accommodate it. I think that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a reason it wouldn't make sense, and I think it does make sense. Longer term, something I'm actually considering changing is at the moment I have in the sort of entity file, I have these model matrices, and I'm actually considering swapping that out for just a location, rotation, and scale. And then being able to, being able to kind of generate this at render time, and also generate the inverse that we use in a few places. Is this the right way to do it? Because it doesn't really feel like the right way to do it, but it is stateful, so it needs to store state somewhere. We'll find out. And the reason I was kind of thinking about that is, at this point, we're expecting the location to be in, but the rotation might not be. Because if you're also like, I'm just going to put a note in here to do. We're assuming by this point that the location is known, but we don't offer any way to calculate a new rotation. For example, a collision with the ground may rotate the agent. Okay, so we should now be able to do our navigation mesh collision. It should be quite easy to do because we've already written the code for it. We also need to scan for the closest one. Yes, we're scanning for the closest one. We're giving it the next location. Oh, actually, we need to do that if we haven't got one though. So, yeah. You're going to remain. Oh, you're going to remain the error color, or okay, so now we have our mesh component ID. We can then look that up. Oh, actually, rather than that, I'm actually going to store the index, I think. Am I going to do that? No. Let's store the component. I'm sort of flip-flopping back and forth here. Anyway. Man, you can tell I'm not really with it. Let's get our component ID out. Now another thing is we actually need to be able to track how the transform of this navigation mesh component is changing. Because if we're on the ground, right, we want to move with it. I'll put that in to do as well. This is probably going to get completely rewritten before it gets used in other games. But yeah, we're kind of like prototyping it now, seeing what the problems are. Something else we're actually going to want, we're going to want callbacks, because if you collide with, say, a wall or the floor, you're going to want to do things to the physics engine, right? But maybe we could just do that kind of thing, like a general restitution and stuff like that parameter. Again, you might still want things to happen, like, say, animations to play or sound effects. Okay, let's calculate what the closest one is. Now we know we don't have one. Oh, yeah, we also need to track which triangle they're in. Okay, so at this point, we should definitely have a navigation mesh by the time we get past here. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. Okay, think. What are you trying to do? Okay. Yeah, we're going to do a sliding collision now. Oh my god, I'm so tired. So, at this point, we need to get the navigation mesh out of this component. Oh, maybe we have a thing in here where we can do sliding collision in here. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh... Brain is dying so hard. Okay. Okay, so now we need a function to get the navigation mesh component mesh. Yep, that makes sense. Using the ID to return, that should be nice and easy. Yeah, we're kind of like getting and setting these together. They should probably be to do merge struct for these. Get and set together. Now we finally perform a sliding collision because we have a navigation mesh, we have the triangle index. We have, yeah, we have where we're moving from, which is previous location. And we have the next location, and we're just going to use the next location as the same thing. Just going to check whether we can do that. Did we make this kind of safe to use as the destinations both? Yeah, we did. That's good. That's good. Yeah, then we copy it over at the end. Okay, that's good. I think we also have a thing in here where if we don't cross an edge, we kind of return, and that's still good. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay, we should probably also constrain in here. Oh, did I seriously typo that? Oh no. It's constrain, not constraint. There we go. So yeah, we're constraining it to the navigation mesh triangle, which we can get through here. Got the index, we've got the navigation mesh, and we've got our next location. So we're going to do both there. Ooh. We should probably also do the same thing with the previous location. Retrieve it now and then constrain that as well. Just so we don't have any points flying out in space. Actually, the next location we're not constraining, so it's only the previous location we're constraining. Okay, at that point we have everything we need to calculate the next location. And then once that's done, we put it back into the model matrix. And basically taking our collided position and then saving it back. And we also copy over the previous, we update the previous location so we know where we just were. And we can drop the console on that because we need to be able to set it. That might work. Might work. Okay, so now this is when we're deleting a navigation mesh component. We need to go all the way through and we need to find everything that referenced it and detach them. And that's what we're checking up here, isn't it? Yep, so that's good. That was easy. Let's go down to go into here and just put this in here while I haven't forgotten about it, because I will forget about it. I know it. Okay, that should be good. And we also need to go to the advanced function and we need to add that collision sort of callback in here. Okay, that should be good. Have I definitely defined this somewhere? Ah, there we go. Oh no, I've called this navigation agent, not navigation mesh agent some places. What am I doing? Ah. All right then, so next step is we need to, hang on, the brain cells are turning over, I swear. We need to add that function so we can retrieve the navigation mesh. It is there. Retrieve the navigation mesh held by a navigation mesh component. Let's put some other warnings in there. There we go. It's not true yet, but and I'm going to have a component ID. This system, like basically all the others in this engine, is probably going to take a few iterations for its quite right. I don't think this is quite right in its first iteration, but all the math should be the same. So we should be able to get the index via the component ID, and then there it is, navigation meshes. Just use the index. And we should just be able to return that, no problem. Okay, next up, we need to actually add an agent to our scene. So if I go down to here, and should we model something dumb just to use as like a placeholder? Something that's like really kind of... let's take this and let's draw some test geometry in here. So reset all the transformations on this. Okay. Delete everything and cursor to selected. Oh, I thought it was going to snap it to 0, 0, 0 if I've got nothing selected. Oh well. Now it's at 0, 0, 0. And we're just going to add a little cube. A little kawaii cube. And let's put something nice and bright and obnoxious on it so we can see it easily. Okay. And we're going to add a protagonist there. That should do. And create a nice little simple transformation there. And then we're going to attach a mesh component to it so we can see it. And then we're going to bring in our header for our navigation mesh agents component. And then we're going to stick on those on. Okay, let's see what that does. I didn't like that. Ah, it's because this is const and that wasn't. Okay, show me the next. Drop that as well. Now I forget where I need to put the constant declaration on this. Is it there? Is it there or is it there? Oh no, I've done something very wrong. Okay, let's get rid of that. And let's just make this not return const. It's just more trouble than it's worth really, isn't it? Oh, during the engine overhaul I plan on having with this, I'm going to have to go through every single usage of something const and see if I can figure out what isn't right. This is still having problems. What's this? Get rid of that. And this is probably because I'm not importing the header for navigation mesh agent components. Right, we're almost there. Now this should, assuming this works, this should snap the cube to the corner of the nav, to one of the corners of the nav mesh, probably the lower left one, and do nothing else. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh, or it could crash the engine, that works too. What we got? I failed to find a navigation mesh component. So that means that it searched for a navigation mesh and didn't find one. That's kind of curious. Let's just clear all this down a bit. Script, theater. So we're definitely creating one. Ah, we're not recording what the distance was when we matched one, so it's getting to the end and going, I didn't find anything, even if it did. Okay, that didn't crash. I don't see our cube though. It would be off screen if it hadn't moved, so I'm going to move it around slightly. Let's take the navigation mesh agent component off and let's position it slightly to the side. So what we're thinking here, like 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, and oops. And then we're actually going to use that because that would be smart if we were actually using it. No, I still don't see it. Where is it? Oh no, we have an errant cube. Where is my cube? Let's make it a bit bigger. Can't possibly miss it then. Does this actually have a material on it? Yes, it does. And is it unwrapped reasonably? Like, will it actually show up? Yeah, we shouldn't really be able to miss that, should we? And yet we're still missing it somehow. Because that should, if I just grab this in Blender, it should be at... Should be there. We should be able to see it. Why can't we see it? Oh, I've attached it to the wrong entity. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Attached it to the popcorn for some reason. There it is. So now we can add our mesh component, our agent component, and it should. That doesn't look quite right. The center should be like on the nav mesh. Let's get rid of this. This should never have been necessary. Oh, hang on. That might actually be correct. It's... Yeah, I suspect that might actually be correct. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Let's go to our agent class and see if we can find it in here. Yeah, so we're constraining the previous location within the triangle's volume. That should work because it should mean that during the sliding collision it's seeing us as being outside and kind of pulling us back in. Let's initialize its location somewhere on the nav mesh and see what happens, because it might just be one of those things where it's a weird consequence of like how the vector math lines up. Let's put this back in, and then we'll just try applying a bit of really dumb simple gravity into it and see if it kind of like does roughly what we're expecting. Now one of the things is these lines don't have any depth, so it might look like this is behind the lines, but it might not actually be. So next up, we're going to add an advanced component, which is one I've barely used, but it should mean we can just drag this down slightly. I'm not using that at all, it's fine. So next up we can get the model matrix of our protagonist, and then we're going to, where were these again? It was 7. So we'll take 7. 7 should be gravity, and we're just going to very slightly pull it down. It should pull it towards the ground, and it should slide over the collision, and it should stop at the bottom. What do you know? I think that worked. I think that actually worked. Oh my god, I think that actually worked. Because it's kind of sliding along the bottom now because there's no friction. It should kind of stop when it gets to this corner. My god, did that actually work? Well, I think we'll find out next time when, I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, oh no, that's not right. Oh no. Where are you going, cube? Oh. Oh no. It was too good to be true, wasn't it? So yeah, next time I'm going to try and figure out what the heck's going on there. And once I figure out what the heck's going on there, I am going to make it so that when you click on the location, we get its 3D coordinate. We can then find the closest point on the nav mesh and see if we can start getting the cube to navigate through the nav mesh towards it. Till then, have a great evening.